That's when we adjusted them just to make sure they're all spot on, and they are. I can absolutely guarantee you that these do work, that people with limited knowledge, daughters-in-law aren't here to hear that, are they? Limited knowledge in the kitchen can handle it very, very easily and found them great. Really, really good. Okay, back to the curry in a hurry and onions. You can keep the reviews while I peel an onion.
Not from Graham. So, again, we're just talking about, coming into we're getting there now, we're into that winter season, looking at the dishes and bits and pieces we can do. Does anybody, do anything to sort of promote, if they do make a pre-made casserole, they have any sort of promotion stuff that they work with to do the casseroles? Like, come and try our new casserole, go in the drawer to win a crock pot. I've seen a few of those around. You're sort of giving them a reason as well. You've told them that it's an nice, easy meal for them. And when you do purchase some of that, you go into our drawer to win a crock pot. Because, like Graham said, a lot of people are using them now. And the reason that they're using them is because we're all so busy. And the beauty about it is you can get up in the morning, you prepare your meal, put it inside your crock pot, set your temperatures and away to work you go, and when you come home, it's there for you.
Corey, you find if you say pies, the added value stuff there, you find you end up selling more of the normal dice as well. Does that affect it? Is it beneficial to the ingredients that people don't want to actually necessarily buy the pie, but they still want to buy the dice to make the pie?
So you can sell them the idea of and have that dice there. And again, it's like when you point a sale and you want to sell the extra pieces, like Graham was saying, the tins, have it where they can see that as well. So for an example, if you've got your cabinet, you may have it on a shelf just in front or slightly to the side, and they can take the option then to buy their diced lamb and their ingredients. I've seen it in a bowl or trays in your window pre-done, so you've attracted them there. So you've got those options. Yeah, because some people will take the option that you've given them the idea, but they want to do it themselves and put their own wee spin on it.
So what I've done here is I've added the onion to it, the lemon juice, the ginger, crushed ginger, and the garlic. As we're going along, and I'm now going to add the curry paste, and this is just a commercial, pretty general curry paste. It's a mild one. Into there.
A nice aroma, that's for sure.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really good. 400 gram tin of tomatoes.
What do you do to your tomatoes when you're putting them in a recommendation to your customer?
Absolutely. Anything you do that has tomato paste, and here's a hint for a team yesterday, if you're putting tomato paste on something, or you're using tomato paste or tin tomatoes, they are naturally bitter. Always add a little sugar to sweeten it up. And you'll find it also intensifies the flavour of the tomato dramatically just by adding a little bit of sugar to it. Huge difference.
Do different sugars do different things to the tomato? Like you've got your brown, your
Yep. But normal sugar's fine, but brown sugar will go even better. The slower the cooking, the longer the cooking time, the browner the sugar. Yep.
How much sugar, Graham?
Well, probably about a teaspoon to a can, thereabouts. But if you're using paste, probably a tablespoon to a can. Okay, some salt in there as well. You'll be amazed. Try it. You'll be absolutely amazed. We actually did it as an experiment. One of these.
Yeah, we did.
In Christchurch, was it? We actually we gave it to half the group, and we said, "Here's your tomatoes," and the other half we said, "Add some sugar to it." And then we got everyone together afterwards when they're all cooked up, and then try that compared to try that. And then we did some bolognese one time, didn't we?
With the
tomato paste, and we said, right, half them put sugar in, half them didn't, and then we got them all to try them afterwards, and the difference of the flavour was absolutely incredible. The intensity of the tomato really came out with the sugar, and the other, it had a real bitter aftertaste to it. You could actually taste it. Real simple. Okay, and so here's the sugar. The sugar's actually in here with the cumin. Thank you, Kim. Kim's got this wonderful way with all these little packets for us when we do these demos. Brings them all along already measured out. Sure she does in the morning tea break, does she, Rod? And some beef stock. I've actually got some open already, haven't I?
Yeah.
So what we've got in here is a binding agent, or a thickener if you like, in the curry paste. The curry paste will naturally thicken the sauce. So that's in there. The tomatoes will actually naturally cook into a sauce. So now we just need to add some beef stock to make sure it's not too thick and go too dry during that cooking process. Slow cooker, don't worry about the beef stock, you won't need it. Oven cooking, hot cooking, yep. Pressure cooker, yep. Add the beef stock to it. That's about right, I reckon.
Good old mix.
Yep, and there it is. Now, you know, if you're in a situation where you've got a group or your customers enjoy curry, throw some curry leaves into it, or a little bit of coriander as a garnish or whatever to that. That's a good, simple, basic madras, if you like, beef curry. Again, kumara, chopped kumara, or even just chopped potatoes, carrots, root vegetables will extend that a long way. Potatoes will be great because the starch in the potatoes will also help thicken up the sauce, so you can add even more beef stock to it. Kumara the same. Kumara will hold really, really well. It will sweeten it up. It's not a naturally sweet curry, but kumara will sweeten it up. Yams, fantastic in the curry. Leeks, you know, you can bulk that up again. All we're doing really is giving you the basic that it's ready to go, take home, and you know that if they take that home, they're really going to enjoy that flavour. I don't know if, yeah, actually pass it round and just put your nose in there and have a smell.
Just a question for you, Graham, as I'm going around. Kumara, would you recommend any particular kumara?
Yeah, always orange.
Always orange?
Always orange. Yeah.
And why is the orange?
It just holds better when it's cooking it through a slow cooking process. The purple's the worst. It's really quite chalky sometimes. And it just doesn't hold, it dries, and it'll absorb all the juice out of the actual dish and dry the dish out and still be quite dry. Whereas the yellow, that good yellow kumara will hold really, really well through the cooking process. Smell all right? It does, doesn't it? And if you can get that kind of aroma going to the people when they're coming into your shop, it's going to hopefully encourage them to buy. Kim, do you want to just go out and see Chef and see how those dishes are coming along, please? Thank you. Okay, back to the lamb. This is really, I don't know if you've seen the cutting edge of these books or some of the past ones, but there's usually about 10 or 12 dishes in them. We're only giving a really very brief preview of one or two of the one that's coming in for winter.
If you haven't seen the cutting edge as well, some of those dishes that we produced yesterday in the competition are from the cutting edge. And if you haven't got the cutting edge books, inquire to one of the girls from Beef and Lamb Retail Meat, and they'll be able to look after you with those. But yeah, if there was anything that grabbed you there, have a look at those books, because that's where a lot of the ideas are coming from.
Ashley, would you mind popping out to the kitchen and asking Chef if I can borrow his spray oil, just for tick things? I've left it behind out there, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to, just these ones I've got single here will do.
Enough.
Yeah, I think there's plenty there actually. We'll just very quickly peel these.
Just while we're going, has anybody got any questions?
Same thing.
Yeah, just with, with what you're doing, for our value-added price and all that, and advertising, advocating that it's cooked for the customer, the big bugbear is how do the health department feel about it, and are there any extra rules and regs that we actually have to look for to do, or any extra paperwork while we're doing it, to say that we've tested it every so often for temperatures and all that sort of
No more than your standard. No more than your standard health regulations that you adhere to now. So the same effect will have exactly the only risk you'll have is if you add rice to anything. Rice is the fastest growing bacteria that is just unbelievable. So don't mix rice with anything unless you're going to cook it. Have it raw. Sorry, mix rice with raw only. Thank you. But don't cook it and don't have cooked rice anywhere near anything. That's the one. But it's all raw.
Yeah, no, but we were talking about having it cooked in the crock pot.
No. As long as you've done it, you've got no fear, nothing to worry about. As long as you've cooked it through and you've got it sitting there, so it's just the same timing, the same checks, same temperature checks. All you do is you check your temperature hot rather than cold. No different. And remember, you're not selling it.
The other one is, what sort of shelf life on the product cooked would you get?
Right.
How long?
That's going to depend solely on your temperature regime. So if you have cooked it long and slow, and you've got some left over that you need to reheat the next day, all you've got to make sure you do is bring that temperature down as quickly as you can in a chiller. Don't leave it sitting to cool down slowly. Get it into the coldest part of your chiller. Make sure it's got air going around it, so put it on a trivet or whatever. What I find is really, really good are the egg trays. Sit it on an egg tray so the air can get right around it, and it'll cool down very quickly that way. As long as you do that, you'll be fine.
And so when it's actually cooled, and say it's not vacuum packed, but people guys have just left in their trays, which we probably sometimes would do. How long would we get for that? 5 days after that? 6 days? What would you recommend?
Fresh is best.
Yeah, well, we know that.
5 days, you wouldn't want to keep it any more than 5 days.
And again, it also depends on your food safety. If you are running a food safety program, some places might have that it has to be utilised within 3 days.
Yeah.
And it's like also if you were cooking it, just thinking of other products that you cook, you'll have a system in place where you take them to a certain temperature, then you bring them back into your cooler and you have to reduce that temperature in a certain time frame to get it back down.
Yeah, just adhere to your normal standard practice of whatever. Just remember that every district in the country has its own interpretation of the rules. You guys suffer that the same as we do. Just stick to the rules of your own standard rules of your own local group, and you'll be fine. I'm actually peeling this potato, but you don't need to peel it for what we're going to do. Corey, just want to give that plate a quick spray.
This one here?
Yeah. The reason we're spraying the dish is when you present this, it'll give a wee bit of gloss on the bottom, and will hold it much better. So, all I'm really going to do with this one,
What are you making now, Phil?
this is just some Mediterranean lamb chops. So we've just got some loin chops, and all I'm really doing is basically a roast veggie salad to go on the base. We'll put the chops on top, and then you can sell it by the chop or however you see fit.
Any other questions, Peter?
Cooking time when you're putting those veggies in the chops and cooking method.
Yep, all that's in the book. What we've done is,
No, you carry on.
this gives you your instructions, and it's also got the instructions to give your customers. So they're both here, all in it, ready to go for you.
You've also got to take that into consideration, the size of your pieces of meat, and try and have your veggies so everything cooks at that balance too. Something to think about, sort of, when you are doing it. A lot of people today seem to put the meat and the veggies all in at the same time if they can get the size right and leave it.
Yep, we'll do the whole lot. We'll put the whole lot on. What we'll do is we'll give the veggies a spray first. You could add whatever's cheap at the time to this as well. You might want to add some beetroot to it to give some a bit of colour, so you can use tin beetroot very easily. You might want to add some courgette or whatever, but you just give the veggies a good spray. Salt and pepper over the top. Yep, we're just about there. This is the last one. Just going to put some bits of fresh basil there on it. Or you can chuck a little bit of thyme in there as well. 2 or 3 sprigs. That's it. Spot on. Should start from this. Actually, no, I'm blue money. On that plate.
Corey,
Well seasoned.
if you
Sorry, can't.
if you put that in a like that, say in a serve over, and somebody came along and wanted 2 chops or whatever, or would you sell that per kilo price, or
You would have several options in doing like so that. You might have them in on your trays ready to go, so that basically they can buy the whole lot, and then you might sort of vary the size. Do packs of 2, packs of 4 and packs of 6. We've done a 9 here. And the other thing that you may find as well is people actually see it, it makes them hungry, so they actually buy the loin chops and then grab some veggies.
The other thing you can do with this, of course, and you'll get to know your customers very quickly once you start doing it. If it doesn't work like that, okay, so put 4 chops into a foil dish with the veggies underneath it and see if that works. Once you get it going, you'll very quickly see what works better in your shop. And remember, you don't want to be all the same.
that it's just the displays beautifully. So
Yeah, looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. I can tell you that I actually did it like that as a display in a foil dish, and I then popped it in the oven, cooked it all out, exactly as the instructions then, and brought it out, and it still looked absolutely fantastic. And it ate beautifully. Now the roast veggies just roasted up really nice. What you're doing is by cooking the chops on top, you know, all that beautiful juice of that meat's running through the veggies as they're roasting underneath it. Gorgeous flavour. Just get the seasoning right. And again, you can get really clever with that. You might put a Cajun spice on top of the lamb, or you might put a Moroccan spice on top of the lamb, a lemon pepper one, whatever. You can change that. So you don't have to have it the same every day. Just the same as you've got good root veggies under there, you can do salady type veggies under there as well. That's still roasted.
How long will it take to cook?
20 minutes, I think, was it?